This morning, the father of accused Appalachia High School shooter Colin Gray waking up in jail, and he very well could stay behind bars for the rest of his life. Colin Gray found guilty on all 27 counts yesterday by a jury of his peers. Sefenech Henok been following this very closely. An emotional day yesterday in court for the families of these victims.
Oh, yeah, and really all of Burrough County. We know it was a huge tragedy in 2024 impacting so many people. Yesterday, Colin Gray, the father of accused Appalachia school shooter Colin Gray, found guilty on all 27 counts, including second-degree murder. This comes after a long 2-week trial where the prosecution and the defense went back and forth on his role as the father of Colin Gray leading up to the school shooting, warning signs that he may or may have not noticed in his son's behavior, the gifting of a rifle to his son for Christmas, and also just a few hours after this verdict was read, we heard from the sheriff, Burrough County Sheriff Judge Smith, also members of the school board and school district. Let's listen in on what they had to say after hearing the guilty verdict.
We're still reeling from the tragedy. Our community's still struggling, but it helps us heal knowing that justice, a little bit of justice was served today.
We will continue to heal, to support one another, and to overcome. And we will never forget.
And those are obviously the images of the 4 victims, 2 students, 2 teachers that were killed in that 2024 school shooting. Also, Burrough County school system, they did release a statement also saying that as a school system, we strive to honor and grow from what we experience to keep a steady focus on what is best for our students, staff, and families who depend on us. We also heard from the Burrough County District Attorney Brad Smith. He actually held a quick little presser after the verdict was read inside the courtroom yesterday. He said that families of the victims, they will be speaking at the sentencing, which has not been set quite yet. He also said that, this case all comes down to the warning signs that were ignored by both parents. He even mentioned Marcy Gray, the mother of Colin Gray. She testified during this trial. He said she is not a good mother, but she did not have custody of Colin Gray at the time of this, and so they could not bring charges against her, saying both parents are at fault. Also, lastly, the Burrough County Sheriff's Office, you just heard from him. He also tells us that obviously there's a little bit of justice being served, he said, but it really is going to come down to part 2, the second part of all of this, which is, of course, the accused shooter, Colin Gray, just 14 years old at the time. He's currently in custody in Gainesville at the Juvenile Detention Center. His trial date has not even been set yet. So a little bit of justice served. The community says they're healing, Dan, but obviously not finished yet.
Not finished. Somebody in that news conference with the DA yesterday asked a great question. If Colin Gray has a presumption of innocence, how can you still have that presumption of innocence when your father's just been convicted of the crime that you allegedly committed? It's very interesting. The DA's basically punted that question to Colt's attorneys.
Yeah, he didn't really have an answer to that, but obviously we'll have to wait and see. Still developing, but major update.
Yeah, no kidding. All right. Seth, thank you so much. And also this case and this verdict yesterday, reigniting the debate when it comes to parental responsibility and gun storage. Joining us now is Abby Clements, a survivor of the 2012 Sandy Hook shooting and a co-founder of Teachers Unified to End Gun Violence. Abby, I appreciate you being here. Really looking forward to your perspective on things. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks so much for having me.
Well, you're very welcome. As a Sandy Hook survivor and as an educator yourself, how does that verdict feel to you yesterday? Guilty on all counts.
Well, first of all, my heart breaks for the entire community there, for the school district and the entire wider community, the victims, the survivors, and of course the educators and the school staff, because folks are forever changed when something like this impacts a system. And, it brings back sort of thinking about what happened at the tragedy at Sandy Hook. And I think the frustration and outrage that this continues to happen over and over. I mean, if there's one thing a parent who's listening right now, I hope that what they take from this is that you have a responsibility to lock up your firearms. You can prevent the next school shooting.
It does continue to happen over and over again, and it's sickening to watch. Do you think that this was the logical next step as a nation that can't seem to come to grips on this crisis, to go after the parents? I mean, do you think that's what we should be doing from here on out?
I absolutely do think. I mean, this is starting to happen, right? We're seeing the link between parents who are leaving their firearms accessible to children, and seeing that this irresponsibility has tremendous consequences. The school can't do this alone regarding warning signs. We have to be all on the same page. And if you choose to have a firearm in your home, simply lock it up. Half of firearm owners have at least one unlocked loaded gun in their home. I mean, we have in terms of how to protect our children, and it starts at the home.
And in this particular home, the father now likely, we'll wait on sentencing, but very possible that he's going to be locked away for the rest of his life. He's facing, more than 200 years if convicted on all counts, and indeed he was. Do you think that's a loud and clear enough message for parents nationwide to do something if they see those red flags in their child?
I absolutely do. I mean, this story is particularly tragic because of the level of the warning signs, the obsessiveness with other mass shootings, and not only the availability of a lethal firearm, but the gift of it and where it was located. So to me, the message is clear. If we are going to make an effort, the effort that we must have as a society to change the statistic that guns are the leading cause of death for children, it has to start with this culture change. And it's as simple as locking up your firearms and keeping it inaccessible. And now the message is quite clear. This is not just a one-off. This is happening, here and there, that you can be held responsible if you don't lock up your firearm.
And when it comes to locking up the firearm, what do you want parents out there to know when it comes to safe storage?
I mean, I think, first of all, I think as a society, when we start normalizing secure storage, right? You take your child to the pediatrician talks about secure storage. When you go to the library, they'll have information. We hope someday when you purchase a firearm, wherever you get that from, there will be information about how you can prevent the next shooting, the next suicide by gun, the next unintentional shooting of a child, of a young child. We see this happen over and over again. So I think we have a tremendous opportunity as a nation to simply normalize the practice of secure storage. I mean, there are a variety of ways that you can lock up your firearm, from what researchers say is the most effective way and to be the surest that you can in terms of locking it up separately, the ammunition and the firearms separately. I mean, but if at least there's some way that you're locking it up, I think it's that it becomes what a firearm owner knows is expected.
Abby, my final question for you. During this trial, we saw victims of the shooting take the stand, students who survived, teachers who were there at the time, and you could tell how much this has changed their life. From somebody who has been through this themselves, at Sandy Hook, losing 6 of your colleagues, 20 innocent first graders. What do you want the survivors of the Appalachia High School to know when it comes to dealing with grief and trauma all these years later?
Thank you for this question. I want them to know that they're not alone. Teachers Unified to End Gun Violence, we have a crisis intervention and support team We are here for you. We want every educator who has the fear and the impact of gun violence to know there is a team of folks who get it. We know we are educators who have been through it, and you are not alone. And it's okay to reach out to help, especially from people who get it. For us, many of us who experienced the tragedy at our school, we had the support from Columbine teachers who came to see us. And that connection is invaluable to be able to talk to somebody who understands the challenges of the aftermath moving forward. I also want to say that that healing is not linear, and that certainly what's going on right now in this conviction and what's coming ahead, it's going to very possibly activate folks. It's difficult to talk to your peers about. Everybody's trying to do their jobs. They're trying to move forward. They're trying to keep teaching, taking care of their own families. So I would like to say that give yourself some grace, especially during this, intense news time. And it doesn't look like you're going to get much of a break from it. But please feel free to reach out to us at teachersunify.org.
There it is, the website, teachersunify.org. Abby Clements, a survivor of Sandy Hook and co-founder of that organization. We're happy to amplify your message this morning. We thank you for your time.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We're back in just a few minutes. You're watching 11 Alive.